Today we're going to talk about my guest lineup for next week. I've been trying to do more podcasts with guests on them. I've gotten some feedback and saying that they've enjoyed that more. So I think the point is to respond to the feedback that we receive and try to improve our lives, our business. So don't be scared to seek feedback. We're going to have photographers, personal trainers, real estate agents of the like. And additionally, I'm just going to go over some of my goals that I have. I'm pushing out of my comfort zone, and additionally, just things that we need to get done, some bad habits that we want to get rid of. Enjoy the morning show, friends. Cheers. Good morning, everyone. How are we feeling this morning? And welcome back to another episode of the Talk Terror Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Well, I'm not going to lie, I've had kind of a longer week, and I feel pretty tired. But the show goes on, and I wanted to talk about the guests that I'm having on today. I thought this would be helpful. I think it's pretty common. I'm really starting to resonate with this, helping people establish personal brands, being more comfortable with establishing my own brand. I think having a brand and being recognized for something is the future. It's the only way to really stick out. Competition is going to get more and more fierce. So many individuals with all the automated tools that big corporations have are coming into play. So, which is good. We want competition. It stimulates innovation, puts power back into the people, all these amazing things. But that doesn't make it easy to get rich, to do what we want, to acquire our resources, to live the good life, right? So I'm trying to establish my brand as much as I can, the Talk to Tanner brand, and I'm going to do it by promoting the crap out of other people and their businesses. Because if we give, we shall receive. And under the premise, or at least that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm a big believer in. I'm shooting for the stars. If I don't land on a star, landing on the moon still sounds pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and run through. We have our guest lineup that we're going to go through. I'm going to give just a quick little overview so you guys get an idea of who's coming on the show, what to be looking for, and why did I pick them. Okay. So first off, we have Nataly Gillihan, and she is a photographer. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Nataly came over she has an amazing story. The American dream, really. Came over to America and now started her own business and is absolutely rocking it out there in Arizona. So, absolutely. Horseshoe Bend, absolutely love that. But most of these are like photos with families and trying to capture a moment. I think it's an amazing business model. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Who's not willing to pay for a professional photo for your family? What's that worth to you? Can't even put a price on it. Amazing business. So it'd be cool to hear her story coming to America, lifestyle, and how she's continued to transcend herself and put herself out there. Absolutely great story. Really cool to hear and see. Okay, next up, we're going to have Jenna Selestow. She is a personal training badass that I've really been inspired, and she offers this, like, what a genius idea. 1 week of custom workouts for $20. It's such a great way to pull people in, because people who are willing to give you a certain amount of money are probably going to be a lot more willing to give you a bigger amount of money. So I think she's clever. She just has a ton of experience with training, with groups. And if you were to put health and fitness into and what it did for you into a little capsule and you took it as a drug, there's no other drug on the planet that can even come close. I think fitness is the way to go. And she just has the personality for it, absolutely crushing it. So I'm really excited to have her on the show. It's going to be a good time. Okay, who's up next? We got my man, Dan. Okay. So this shows that have you ever heard of the term that something's so old that it's new? Well, everything seems to be in a cycle, and email marketing is definitely one of those. Definitely keep collecting emails and using this data to try and help promote your business. If you guys can read that. So I actually subscribed to Dan's email. He's a real estate agent in Denver, Colorado. And there's a property, a very specific one that my brother lives at, that I want to buy. I want it. We're going to figure out a way to get it some way, somehow. Either way, I want it. And I've been making connections with realtors in the area, real estate professionals, attorneys, all these people, because I'm trying to get a deal done. But I'm also trying to like build connections organically and this and that. So going to have Dan on the show. I've been really liking his market minute, he calls it. But just like reading through it, talking about what's going on with interest rates and all this stuff, talking about the housing market, the inventory, what's on it. Dan's a cool guy. He was a special educator. He turned into a real estate professional, transitioned into it. Pretty common for a lot of people. And yeah, he's just serving the community well. He's really responsive. He's done a really good job. It seems like that is like what good realtors compose of, is how quickly they respond. But yeah, I'll be excited you guys to hear more about the Denver market and what he's got going on with his business. But yeah, he got me with an email newsletter. So if you guys ever want to do email marketing, just know that it's that stuff is still working. Okay, next up is Risa White. Risa, if I can minimize this. All right, Risa. So she actually was my teacher for when I joined App Properties. It's a real estate brokerage out of Chicago, and she was the teacher of it. She works for Coldwell Banker now. She'd actually transitioned over to another company to be a real estate agent. So, I mean, her personality is what you want in a realtor. Just ready to rock and roll, ready to get you the best offer, ready to put in the hard work. Yeah, I've been a fan of Risa for a long time, and I think her work ethic, her attitude and stuff, she just makes for a fantastic real estate agent. So I'm going to have her on, talk about putting yourself out there, not caring what other people think, and just being willing to do the hard work to create success for yourself. But Risa's a go-getter, man. So I'm really excited to have her on. It'll be fun talking to her. But these are the 4 guests that I'll be having onto the show next week. The post times are going to be lapsed. So there's a couple of the episodes that are going to be pushed to the following week just because there's so many of them and they're kind of bundled up in like a 3-day span. But they'll be all going live within this week and next. And it's going to be a really good time. And plus, this is great for me because, so I'm going to go ahead and kick this off the screen real quick. Love you, Risa. I'll see you next week. And I've yet to do 4 guests in a week. Like I've done 5, just Tanner talking and doing coaching exercises on the board. A lot of our exercises come from the One Page Life Plan. Shout out to our One Page Life Plan coaching program. Check it out if you're a one-person business owner or an entrepreneur and you want to be held accountable to it. Either way, so we do a lot of coaching exercises here, and I have no problem, but it's a lot different when you're preparing notes for somebody else. You can't really go off the cuff nearly as much. And I like to lay out a lot of structure because my goal is to really promote other people's businesses. So it is a lot more work. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more work and communication, right? So a bit back and forth. But really the point being, this is an awesome opportunity for me to push myself to get a lot of good recordings in and just improve. So if you're thinking this morning, okay, Tanner, what the hell does that even mean for myself? If you're thinking of something that you want to be better at, if you want to be better at recording videos, if you want to be better at writing, if you want to be better at speaking, if you want to be better at selling, if you want to get healthier and fitter, time under tension, baby. This reigns supreme. It sucks because it's a simple answer, but all we have to do is do. If we want to be good at anything, if you want to be a better teacher, if you want to be a better this, just time under tension. I think where I've really screwed the pooch in the past is I overthink a lot. Do you overthink? What do you overthink about? I know I overthink about pretty much everything. And in the beginning of any business and any endeavor, it's not about thinking, it's just about doing. Until you like really evolve and grow. So Alex Ramosi, shout out to one of the best marketers in the world, total genius. He had this example from Warren Buffett from his readings. So Warren Buffett makes like one investment a year, one. And so like when the market really got beat up and dropped, he bought $20 billion worth of Apple. Now it's worth $40 billion. That's a $20 billion move, one move. And he didn't do anything else the rest of the year. And I think that's where everyone wants to be, is like they want to think and learn and just try and make only the one move. But you have to, he is like 90 years old and he's been doing the same thing the entire time since he was like 18. And so that's a good 70-year haul of just like in it. So there's a thinking scale and there's a doing scale. And I think where I've really been hard on myself is I do way too much thinking and not nearly enough doing, where in reality, we need to have way more doing than compared to thinking. So maybe whatever that means for you this wonderful Friday. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. Good morning. Good morning. But if we want to think about getting better at anything and achieving success, and it's early on, and early on meaning less than a decade, then I think it's really about doing, and taking way more action. And so this is my effort to taking more action and trying to get stuff done. And so how do we get stuff done, Tanner? What do we need to do? So I set some goals up for the weekend, and no, I don't want to work every day for the rest of my life, but it's just not, I just don't see how it's possible to build a massive company in the beginning and not work really, really hard. And so what does this include? I think it's as much as the things you see on the screen that I need to do. I think it's as much as saying no to the things that you see on the screen. So what do you need to say no to this weekend? Maybe you have a business idea. Maybe you want to grow your personal brand on social media. Maybe you want to get healthier and fitter. Maybe you need to just dopamine reset and take a break. But for me, this is no football and no pot. No football, no pot. I can't express I actually made an episode of like quitting bad habits recently. And this shows that we're all human, right? I'm human, you're human, and me being vulnerable on here, I hope is helpful. But I made an episode of quitting bad habits. And I was talking about no football, no pot, no drinking. I quit. I haven't had any alcohol in a while. Not since, I think I might have had one beer. Yeah, no. I think a week after my birthday, I had like one beer. Anyway, I'm coming up on a month and I'm not going to drink for a while. It's just not in the cards. It just doesn't make sense for me right now, I don't think. No problem with that. But smoking pot in the evenings and watching football, man, I'm on the struggle bus. It's hard for me to say no to this. And I believe if it's hard to say no, that means I absolutely need to do it. If it's hard for you to walk away from something, if it's hard for you to say no, then to me, that means absolutely that we must quit, that we just have to get away from it. Not forever. And I think this is where I get tripped up mentally in my brain. I'm curious how you guys are thinking about this. I'll say, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And it's like it's not like I perpetuate this like, whoa, geez, do I have to quit this forever? This and that. It's like, no, I'm not talking about forever. I'm talking about quitting something until you get to the next phase in your life. Giving up things that no longer serve us in this moment. And I'm not saying I'm never going to smoke pot again. I absolutely love marijuana. I think it tastes good, makes me feel good. It just makes me dumb. It just makes me, I can't read. I can't work. I can't do any of that stuff. I know there's probably a lot of marijuana advocates out there like, oh, you can do this on pot and that on pot. And I can't. And everyone's different, right? So whatever works or doesn't work for you, I think is really important. So for me, no football, no pot. No football, no pot. I think I watched like 12 hours of football last weekend, maybe more, which is like, oh, Jesus, that is so much time. And then I didn't get done. So you see, like, they record the SVL for my marketing coach and getting all these questions and outlines, and I'm sending stuff out to the podcast guests and really making sure it's going to be an amazing video. But I got stuff I want to get done. So if there's stuff that you really want to get done, maybe you can ask yourself, maybe you don't even need to force yourself to do that. Just what do you need to say no to? What is distracting you? I think we live in a world of distraction. I get distracted over here. I'm like, oh, my cell phone. I got this to do. Oh, over here. Oh, we got football going on. Oh, that's a good game. Good college championship. This and that. It's like what is more important to me? Blowing up a big business and taking my friends and family on sweet vacations and traveling the world and being able to like support my family and like have children and be able to like have them, have badass piano lessons and like go to cooler, better schools or this and that. It's like, what's more important to me? And if I look back on my life, I know I'm going to die. Not to get morbid this morning, but I know I'm going to die. And if I look back, would I rather have taken the time on Saturdays to write a couple hours for my book or watching the SEC championship for college football? This is tough. Because we want to enjoy ourselves, and I get it. Everybody needs to take a break, but I'm not going to do this forever. I'm 29. I'm just trying to be realistic with where my goals are at and the actions, the inputs that require to have the outputs. And for a time period, I believe that it's just, there comes a time where we're going to have to go kind of hard. Like, it's just not smooth sailing or whatever. And my life's been so good. I've had some hardships, I've gotten over some traumas and that, but man, I live in America. I got good, loving family members, lots of support. Shout out to like the beautiful home I live in now. And but there's so much comfort around me. Sometimes it's hard to get yourself to push, right? What's that saying with the king and the silk sheets and it's hard to get out of bed? And then either way. But these were my goals for the week. I wanted to come on and I want to share them this morning. So no football, no pot. Get the outlines and questions sent out to guests. Record my SVL for the marketing coach. SVL is a sales video letter. You put them in funnels at the top. We'll get more into that stuff as I get better with it myself. But the goal is to get more coaching clients. So if you know anyone who needs a coach, if you know anyone who wants to improve their personal brand and they just want to get rid of distractions and bad habits, talk to Tanner. I'm your man. I'm here for you. But you guys, like I said, we're going to be having a slew of podcast lineup coming in next week. I'm really going all in, trying to go more all in on this recording with guests. So if you know anyone who wants to come onto the show, please reach out to me. You can always go to talktotanner.com. You can always go to talktotanner.com and set up a call with me, or you can send me a message here on this social media platform saying like, hey, I want to promote my business. I want to come on the show, and we'll see if we can work something out. But that's all I had for today. In case you guys needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. Let's rock this weekend. Doesn't matter what day of the week is. We're chasing our goals, getting closer to them. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you bright and early Monday morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm going to be doing a coaching exercise actually out of the book. So shout out again to our course that we have together, our coaching program, our deep dive on ourselves. And we're going to go over some vision questions and some stuff like that to really help paint a better vision for the future. So really fun stuff. I really like this book because I made additional pages for you to take notes as you're thinking and as you're creating more. But book's absolutely money. And the only way to get the book is to be inside the class. So come check that out whenever, whether you need your purpose, your vision, or your values. I'm your man. You guys have a great, great weekend. Happy Friday to you. Enjoy yourselves. Kiss your family members. Tell them you love them. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on the next Talk to Tanner Morning Show. Cheers, friends. Peace. Out.